everyone, my name is Amelia Thompson and I am one of the educators here at Hawks Aloft. Thank you so much for tuning into our video this week. This week I'm going to present on glass collisions and avian mortality. I want to talk about why collisions with glass is such an issue for birds, why do birds fly into glass, and what we can do to help prevent these deaths. So why do birds fly into windows and glass? Natural glass and reflective surfaces do exist in the wild, but they're not very common. They're things like water or some different types of rocks and minerals. But humans have learned how to use visual cues to avoid running into glass from years of using it in buildings and other things in their daily lives. So while birds do have one of the best visual systems on Earth, they haven't learned these cues. Glass can be transparent or it can be reflective, and reflective glass is especially dangerous. We'll talk about why later. Some other glass-related issues are if the bird can see through one window to another window, it'll look like a tunnel that they can fly through. If two windows are cornered like this, that can be an issue. Second floor windows are also a huge problem for birds. Another issue is solar panels. Birds that land on water will think that solar panels look like water, and they'll break their legs when they try to land on it. Rear view mirrors are also an issue. During mating season, birds will try to fight their reflection and will go for hours until they're completely exhausted and unable to take care of themselves. So what happens when a bird dies from a collision with glass? Many people think that birds break their necks or other bones, but Dr. Fabiano Montiani Ferreira, veterinary ophthalmologist in Brazil, presented a study where they examined birds who died from glass collisions, and they discovered that the most common death of birds that flew into windows was head trauma, either from hemorrhaging in the skull or from brain contusions causing swelling. Other causes of death include internal hemorrhaging in their thoracic and abdominal cavity, or in some dove and pigeon species, their crop would rupture. So how can we prevent birds from dying from colliding with glass surfaces? Well, there is no 100% proven effective way to prevent these collisions. There are some ways that are up to 95% effective. For years, many people have recommended that you put stickers on your window. However, now we know that those stickers only work if you use a lot of them and cover most of the window. So there are other options, which include wind curtains, such as the ones pictured at the top here. These are Acopian bird savers, and they're especially effective if they sway in the wind because that scares birds. You can also put up regular curtains and blinds on the outside of your windows. And you can put screens up as well, but screens need to be a certain distance away from the window and not too taut, as the birds can bounce off of them and injure themselves that way. You can also buy special markers for drawing on glass, and you can draw white vertical lines because white has really good high contrast. And birds are less likely to fly through vertical obstacles than they are to fly through horizontal obstacles. You can also buy the perforated adhesives that you see on the bottom picture in this slide. Those let light into your house and so that you can see out of your windows, but birds can't see inside and they don't look like windows to them. There are also a couple of different ultraviolet options that you can use on your windows. Because birds can see shorter wavelengths of light than humans can, they do see things on the ultraviolet spectrum. So you can buy these special ultraviolet stickers, which are transparent for people to look through, but when the birds see it, it's opaque and they can see it as a solid object. However, the downside to these are that they are expensive and the ultraviolet wears off after a couple of years, so you have to replace them. You can also buy this special glass called Ornolux bird reflective glass. And this has UV reflective glass, and you can see an example of what we see and what the birds see in this picture here. The reflective UV is actually in a spider web-like texture because birds won't fly into spider webs because it is UV reflective and they can see it, whereas humans can't always see a spider web and will walk right into it. There's some really great resources out there to help people to make changes in their houses to prevent deaths of birds, including FLAP, the Fatal Light Awareness Program. It's a Canadian-based organization that provides information on bird glass collisions. Their website, flap.org, has an app you can download to assess your windows for bird safety, and it has a lot of resources that you can use to prevent glass collisions. You can report collisions and get involved in their organization. They're also currently trying to pass legislation to have all new buildings in their area be built with bird-friendly standards. And right here in the United States, last year in 2020, the US Congress passed the Bird Safe Building Acts so that all glass in federal buildings from here on out will be reduced or be put in with bird safe modifications. These are just some of the steps that are being taken around the world to help to prevent these bird-related issues with buildings and glass. Thank you so much for tuning into our video this week. We hope you've learned some valuable information about how to save birds right in your very home. Here's some of the different places that I got my information from and what some of the photo credits. We hope that you will reach out to us if you have any questions or any ideas for videos you'd like to see in the future. And thank you so much for all of your support, and we will see you in our next video.